Good morning, everyone. Hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this from, and whenever you are watching this. Welcome to another episode of Agents in the Trenches, the real life struggles of agents in this new market. And guys, the struggle is real. And this market is leading all of us to having to develop those disciplines that perhaps in the past we didn't have to develop because it was real estate on easy street, right? So, what is real estate on Easy Street? It was a good old days for the last 5+ years where business would just come to us. Everybody was able to get financed. Everybody was getting qualified. The market was booming and thriving. And then all of a sudden, interest rates went up. That, took out the largest part of our buyer segment. And now we started to see listings sitting on the market for longer and longer periods of time. And that brings us to the agents in the trenches that are back into the basics of real estate, having to do what it takes to really do real estate in the real world. Because real estate on Easy Street is not part of the real world. That was kind of like the bonus, the cherry on top, right? But right now, we are living in a world of real estate where there's a lot of skill sets that are required, a lot of discipline that is required, a lot of know-how and how-to that is required. And that's what I want to talk about today is that struggle of the morning ritual. But first, I want to introduce my running partner here, Talia. Talia, and introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Talia Miranda. I'm the lead agent here at Q International. I am so excited to be here, and I can't wait for this topic because we were just talking about this on Friday and the struggle even that I'm facing at the current moment. So, super excited. Thank you so much. I'm excited for this.
So tell me a little bit about the struggle. So let's unwrap the struggle. Let's unwrap what is that struggle look like? What is it?
Yes. Yeah. So we were talking on Friday, and the conversation was that, waking up early. I mentioned, I'm like, it is so difficult for me to wake up early. And, I'm never really been a morning person. I'm more of a night owl. But I think you had mentioned something about it's really not about, you not being able to wake up in the morning. It's really your morning starts the night before. And I would love to unpack that a little bit more because I thought that was pretty incredible what you were talking about and how it's true that depending on how we we go to sleep the night before, it's all going to determine how we wake up in the morning. So, and we know that there's so like when it comes to real estate, your morning ritual is going to determine how the rest of your day is going to go. And I think it's more just than real estate and just in general in life. But yeah, that's something that I've struggled with and I'm struggling. But today, I must say, I did wake up a little earlier than usual. So I have to be proud of myself for that.
I love your transparency. I love your transparency. You get A for transparency, humbleness, and vulnerability because here's the thing. And I just started a real estate class on Friday, and there's people that come into real estate from all walks of life. Listen, if anyone is becoming an expert and an authority in the population that enters the real estate arena, I would have to say I am so blessed to be one of them because I actually have the privilege of taking people from conception to conclusion, right? So we started a class on Friday and really nice intimate group of people from all different walks of life. And one of the first things that I like to do when I start my real estate 63-hour pre-licensing courses is I want to know who they are at the human level. I want to know who they are as people. What do you do, where do you come from, and why real estate? And it was incredible to see how each and every one of them had one of those false concepts. Drop it in the chats right now. False concepts about real estate. And you know what, Talia? We all get into real estate, and I was one of them. I got to raise my hand and say, my name is Lucy Quinones. And when I got into real estate, I had a bunch of false concepts. I thought that it was going to be wake up at 11 in the morning, eat cookies and milk all day. People are just going to hunt me down. I'm going to go show them two houses and they're going to buy one. I'm going to be closing deals, on wheels every single day. And this is going to be so phenomenal. And I'm going to make a whole bunch of money and I'm going to become rich. And my life is going to be, a fantasy world. But that's not true. And the first thing that I tell people is you are getting the key. My job as your real estate instructor during this time is to facilitate what you need to learn so that you can go pass your state exam and get the key to opening a door that can change your life, because real estate changed my life, right? But it's not going to be do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, if you want, and wake up at 11 in the morning and go to bed at 2 in the morning because you're watching reruns of Netflix or whatever else, or the latest and greatest, series. And it is so hard to develop the discipline. So having said that, that is one of the biggest struggles that people have, is they're going to bed at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, because, hey, it's all about the habits. Talia, you are the product of your habits. I am the product of my habits. Drop it in the chat. We are the product of our habits. We are the products of our habits. So what are the habits that you have? And there's even a book that is called The Habits of the Millionaire, or Millionaire Habits. It's one of those two, the habits of the millionaire or the millionaire habits. And you know what? You don't see millionaires staying up to all hours of the night watching Netflix. That just is not, that's not part of their ritual. That's not part of their game. That does not contribute to what they do. So it's the habits. It's, auditing your habits. What are those habits? Because there's something that's, listen, people say, no, because I've been so busy and I have so much stuff to do. So I went to bed late. You're not going to bed late prospecting and building new business. No one does. We're going to bed late doing the stuff that does not add to our bottom dollar. Would you agree?
That's 100%.
So if you were to speak for the thousands of realtors that are out there that are going through the same struggle, what is causing? Let's peel back the layers. Let's peel it back. Let's unpack it. What is the habit that's causing, 9 times out of 10, most people to go to bed real late?
I think it's like the mindset of, oh my goodness, I had such a long day today. I did a whole bunch of stuff. Now the nighttime comes and it's time to relax, do something that I, maybe watch some Netflix or scroll on TikTok, because once you start scrolling on TikTok, I mean, that you can the hours can go by,
Yes.
So I think it's that mindset, right? Just kind of like taking a moment for yourself, and that moment becomes ours. And then it's 12 o'clock or 11:30, and like, oh shoot, didn't even realize that much time, has gone by, and you fall asleep late, and it's hard.
And we're all guilty. We're all guilty of doing that. And here's where I know, and this is what my coach John Cheplack has taught us, is it's not the time that you wake up that matters. It's the time you go to bed. So if you're really going to be on point and you're going to be on your A game, and you really want to shift that mindset from being a immediate gratification, think about it. What you just said is so real. And a lot of us have been there and done that, immediate gratification. But are you having the mindset of a millionaire? Are you having the mindset of the person that's going to win? Are you having the mindset of the person that says, I'm going to do what others won't do for a period of time so that I can have what others can never have the rest of my life? So where is the focus? And that's where our circle of people, is so important. Tell me who you're hanging around with, and I'll tell you where you're going. Tell me who you're hanging around with, and I'll tell you where you're going. Tell me who you're having conversations with, and I will tell you where you're going. Do you think that Coach Michael Burt goes to bed at 11:30, 12, 1, 2 in the morning, and then is up at 4:30 in the morning to be on his A game?
No, I don't think so. I think he goes to sleep way earlier.
Well, when we saw him in Orlando, he was talking about his morning ritual. And he talked about how his morning ritual starts at 4:30 in the morning, and he does his prayer meditation, and then he goes from there to listening to something inspirational. He gets to the gym by 6 in the morning. He does his 1 hour. When he gets out of the gym, he's always doing his first live or his live message or whatever, before 7 in the morning, and then he goes spends times with his kids, and then he's into his coaching. I mean, so I guess the question is, what's your bullseye? And that's why he's always talking about, we got to activate our prey drive. So yes, and I can tell you for a fact, because I'm undergoing, this thing that I have here is not for looks, it's not for trends. I'm actually part of a, study, a 1-year study with Stanford University, where they are measuring what I do and when I do. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to know the days I stood up, wasting time. Because guys, after 9 p.m., whatever you're doing is wasting time. There is the few that are night owls that will work during that time. But for the most part, even the majority of the night owls, you're wasting time. And time is irreplaceable. It's non-refundable. There's a book called Upsiders that it was written by Bobby Castro. If nobody knows Bobby Castro, go look him up. Bobby Castro is the husband of Sofia Castro, and Sofia Castro is a multi-million dollar investor woman. And she went to Colombia as one of my speakers for one of the boot camps that I did last year. Actually, it was the one in Santa Marta. And she flew there on her private jet. Okay, she flew there on her private jet. She was my guest to my women's conference that I did in Santa Marta. She was a speaker at the International Real Estate Boot Camp. And her husband wrote a book called Upsiders. You can drop that in the chat if anybody wants to go look at it, Upsiders. And I've been following them ever since then. And there's something that he calls non-refundable minutes. It's the time that you waste. And at the beginning, I really didn't catch the concept. But this comes back to what, when you're sitting there watching Netflix because you're wanting to get that immediate gratification, I'm going to challenge you to think about the minutes that you're losing that you will never get back, but they're conducing you to not being where you really want to be in life, to just being another statistic, to just doing what everybody else wants to do, which is, I want to have fun now. I want my leisure time now. I want to, feed my, endorphins and my serotonin and that, what's the name of that? There's a hormone, the happy hormone, the hormone that,
Dopamine.
the dopamine. Oh my God, that's really what you're triggering.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody has said it. Scientists have said it. Researchers have said it. Social media, the moment that you are hooked on it, that, like you just said, once you're on TikTok, you can't get off. You're like a druggie. We are like a druggie on that fix, because that's exactly what people experience. I've never done drugs. I haven't even done any kind of drugs in my life, just because I was scared that I would get addicted. I'm like, oh, I ain't trying nothing, because what if, I was always scared. What if? But we have to wake up to that. And that is a true struggle. So if you're watching us on live or you're watching us on replay, drop, hashtag live, hashtag replay, but, you're not going to have a breakthrough living a status quo life. And sleep is so important to our performance. Sleep is important to our performance. Sleep is important to our mindset. Sleep is important to our well-being. Sleep is important to our health. You're not a world-class player if you went to bed past midnight or 11, because then you're waking up later and now you're running around like a chicken without a head. So don't even get me started, because I've been there and I've done that. And now I'm realizing and I'm waking up to the fact that I feel the difference. I feel the difference in my mind. I feel the difference in my inner self. I feel the difference in my energy. I feel the difference in my focus, in my drive, in my, momentum, and every part of me feels the difference when I go to bed before 10 and don't waste my time and don't give away my non-refundable minutes. Drop it in the chat. Non-refundable minutes. I'm telling you, that's like such a powerful reminder. Non-refundable minutes. You will never get back. Now, am I saying don't go on TikTok? No. But you got to have the discipline to jump off when you know you got to jump off.
That's right.
What do you think, Talia?
No, I was just gonna say that before you mentioned it. I've done both. So I've stood up watching Netflix, and the not being productive, and then I've also went to sleep early and woke up early, right? And incorporated some sort of morning ritual. So I've done the staying up late, waking up late, and then just going to sleep early and waking up early. And I'll tell you, between the two, I feel more energized. I feel better going to sleep early, waking up early, and having that morning ritual than the other. Like my mind is right. I'm more energized. I feel happier. I do feel happier when I do that. But when I wake up late because I want to sleep late, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. So it's harder for me to push myself, to get the things done. So it is a huge difference that you feel between the two.
So, what would be some of the reasons why you should, and everyone that's struggling with that? What are some of those triggers or those motivators um, that you could utilize to cause you to go to bed early?
Well, how do you want to feel in the morning? I think that's what it comes down to, because for me personally, I feel like 10 times better. So I'd rather, do the things that's going to make me feel better than not. So this, between last night I fell asleep at 10. This was the first time in a while that I fell asleep that early. And then I woke up, earlier than usual. I woke up at what time I woke up? I had my alarm. Now, mind you, I had my alarm for 6. I woke up at 6:30. But usually I'll keep doing that until like 7, and then I have to force myself. So I did wake up earlier today, and I did some stuff for myself, and I woke up feeling amazing. I'm like, wow, like if I just keep doing this, you
Right.
know, and then little by little start waking up earlier and earlier, then I'm gonna be able to get more done, feel a little bit more better, and not so tired. So I think it's comes down to how do you want to feel in the morning, and if you want to feel good, tell yourself like, hey, okay, it's 10 o'clock, it's time to go to sleep, or it's 11 o'clock, it's time to go to sleep. You have to have that
The
discipline.
funny thing is that when we are parents, we become such experts at telling our children what they can and cannot do.
Yeah.
But then we're really hypocritical because we don't do the things that we should do, that we know we should do, because they're the right thing to do to lead us in the direction we want to go. So, it's really having that different conversation. And I'm so happy that you wanted us to talk about this, because it takes a lot of, selflessness and really stripping yourself of ego to say, you know what? I'm being hypocritical. Like, I'm telling my kid, because I know you do, right? You put your son to bed early, or at least like you should do, right? We should teach you.
Yeah.
Most people put their kids to bed early because, oh, you need to have your sleep. And so why are we hypocritical with us? Just because now we have the freedom to do what we want, when we want, if we want, how we want. But in reality, where are we getting to? Because here's the truth. So someone watching may say, well, what's the big deal? I go to bed at 1 in the morning and I'm up by 6 in the morning because I'm good with 5 hours worth of sleep. And then, the rest of the day is fine for me. So the question is this: how would your performance increase as far as your focus, your energy, your drive, your resilience, just those 4 things? How much better would that be if you had more rest? So I'm not saying that everybody doesn't perform with maybe just 5 hours worth of sleep, but the question is, how much better would you perform? Because you have to have a lot of focus to build your business right now. Right now, business is not coming to us. We're back in the trenches. We're having to make those phone calls. We're having to go visit those people. We're having to, put deals together. We're having to take ourselves out of the box. We're having to break the box. We're having to build another box to be productive in real estate, to do the things that we don't want to do when we know we have to do them. So that's where discipline comes in. And Listen, we're not making this up. You guys can go look at the book. What is it? Morning. What is it called? The book that I just had a blank. The book that Miracle Morning. Miracle Morning. I was getting Millionaire and Morning and all these Miracle Morning. That was written. Miracle Morning. It was written by Michael Reese, Jay Kinder, and another gentleman that his name skips my mind right now. Miracle Morning. And these people are in the real estate arena, and they talk about, how you prime your brain, how you prime your mind to be an elite performer, to be a high performer, and the level of discipline that you have to have. So, have you ever read that book?
No, I have not.
Okay.
But I want.
So,
It sounds
yeah,
like a good book and something that is, it's good to read over and see. I mean, because you mentioned it. If you want to be, a millionaire, you have to do what the millionaires do. So if they're waking up early or they're having these morning rituals, I mean, you want to copy and implement.
right. Exactly. So you can get Miracle More. And again, this is a non-paid, announcement, but you can get Miracle Morning. As a matter of fact, I'm looking it up right now. They have it on Audible. Okay. They have it. Oh, yeah. His name is Hal Elrod. Hal Elrod, Michael Mayer, Michael Reese, and Jay Kinder. And it's called, and I'll show it to you guys right here. It's called Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. Okay.
Cool.
I mean, we're talking about people that are on their A game. And that's where, a lot of times we're out of alignment because we want to have the mega bucks, but we don't want to do what it takes to get there. And that is probably one of the biggest challenges and struggles at agents right now. It's that disconnect between being the agent, being the person that you need to be to become the professional that you want to become. That's a huge disconnect there.
Yeah, and I think there's also struggling with discipline as well. I think that's another huge thing is learning how to be self-disciplined because, like you were saying, we tell our kids to go do something, and then we're doing the opposite. It's like you're not really setting a great example, and then you're only sabotaging yourself because of the fact that you're not implementing these little habits that is going to change your life and you get you on one step closer to your goals. So discipline is huge. A lot of people lack it. I mean, I lack it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it. I lack discipline too, and that's something that you have to consistently, improve on, right?
And you know what? Discipline is a daily struggle. I mean, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That discipline is a daily struggle.
Yeah.
It's we don't want to do what we have to do, but the question is, so where is it that you want to get to? Because if you're not sleeping, if you don't have a powerful morning ritual, listen, I get up in the morning, I do my meditation, I do my prayer, I go do my 2.5, 3 mile, power walk, jog. I don't, it is, hello, do I look like a retard? Of course, it would be much better to stay in bed and snuggle with the pillow. But that's not going to get me to where I want to go. That's not going to give me the physical health that I want to have. That's not going to give me the inner health that I'm going to have. That's not going to give me that space and time to be alone and do my affirmations and, declare those powerful words over my life and visualize my business and visualize my day and visualize who I really want to become and who I want to be now to become the person I want to be. So I have to do that. And I'd rather pay that price now than wake up like a freaking chicken without a head running around, not even knowing which way to go. And at the end of the day, Talia, I know you're going to be 100%. Who are you fooling? Who are we fooling when we get up like a chicken without a head?
Ourselves.
No one knows, like that audio on TikTok. They're going to know. They won't know. They're going to know. They'll never know. They're not going to know. Nobody will know, right? But we know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good. At the end of the day, I don't feel good. When I don't do my morning ritual, I don't feel good. I don't feel proud of myself. I don't feel like a winner. I don't feel on point. I don't feel A class. I don't feel, I don't feel it. It's not there.
Yeah, it's I'm thinking about the mental checklist. I think someone had mentioned this before, was like when you set out yourself to do a few tasks, right? Whether it's brushing your teeth or whatever, getting up, those are mental checks that you're checking off your list, and you're starting to feel that sense of like accomplishment. And oh yes, I did this, and then your day just starts off better that way. And when you don't do it, you're not checking anything off. Now you're waking up late, so now you feel behind, or you're rushing to do things and you're not doing it right. So now you're just kind of detracting from that feeling of success, rather than adding to it with your morning rituals and all of that stuff.
And that's the biggest thing. I mean, they say that so for example, when you hear winners, when you hear people like Ed Milet, right? When you hear people like Grant Cardone, when you hear people like Tony Robbins, when you hear people like Robert Kiyosaki, when you hear people, like John Cheplack, and just people that are like performing at a super, super high level, you know, they all talk about doing things that are going to bring them to a place where they're going to perform high, you know? And so that's where we have to get a lot of clarity and really make those tough decisions of, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this because it does not contribute to my well-being. It does not contribute to me winning. It does not contribute to me being an A player. It doesn't contribute to me being on my best. So, and it's waking up to that reality, because when you hear all these people talk about what they do and how they got there, right? Because everybody wants the secret sauce and everybody wants to know the 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 formula to becoming successful. They do boring stuff all the time, and here we are, and I include myself because a lot of times I have to audit myself, and I'm acting like a little kid. I'm wanting to have immediate gratification. I'm wanting to murmur, grumble, whine, and complain. But at the end of the day, it all comes from me. I can always trace it back to I have not been feeding my mind. That's why this year so far, I've been the most disciplined with my physical health, because I said I'm sick and tired of not being at my prime in my physical health. I'm sick and tired. That's it. I'm done. I am done. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of of looking good. I want to look great. I want to feel great. I want to challenge myself beyond, my comfort level. And I made my physical health a priority, and that's what pushes me to do what I have to do, because I don't, not for no one else, for me, for me. I'm doing these boot camps, and I'm, bringing hundreds of people together, and I'm being on stages that I'm creating, and I'm like, I want to get on that stage and I want to be the wow factor. Why not? Why not? Why can't I be the wow factor when I go on that stage and people say, "Wow." But that's taking a lot of work. That's taking a lot of effort. That's taking a lot of sacrifice. That's taking a lot of my focus. But you know what? I know the reward is going to be juicy, and it's going to feel good, and it's going to taste good. I know the reward is going to be, delicious, sexy,
Yeah.
fun, right?
That's right. That's right. I want to mention something before we wrap it up. So there's this. I follow Ryan Serhant. Have you heard of him?
His name sounds familiar. Is
Ryan.
he one of those $1 million listers?
Yes. Yes. In
Okay,
New
that's what
York. So
okay.
there's this thing that he does, and he did, and he does it every day. So he went on one of these apps, that he took a picture of himself, and it made him look old, right? So it made him look like he was maybe 80, I don't know, 80, 90 years old or whatever. And what he does is he has it in front of his office every day, and he asks himself, he's like, would this person be proud of the things that I'm doing today? That person is himself. So he
Wow.
has that mental, that mental note, and he has that visualization saying that, okay, I have to be performing at a higher level because I want my future self to be proud of the things that I'm doing today because I know I'm going to be farther at that time. So I love, that's something that we're talking about this and I just thought of it and I wanted to share it because that's an amazing, tactic or something you can do, to help you and motivate you and do things that you're going to be proud of in the future.
And you know what? That's something that maybe you need to do,
Yeah.
if it resonates with you, because we got to break out of this box. So, agents in the trenches right now, and let me tell you, there's a lot of agents that are not in the trenches. There's a lot of agents that are sitting around wondering, what am I going to do? You know what? There's no wondering. It's taking action. It's showing up, it's rising up, it's leveling up, it's pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. There's no, there's no get rich quick scheme in real estate in this moment. It's going to take doing it scared and doing it afraid. And maybe that's something you need to do because, someone like yourself has absolutely so much potential, you know, but you're just wasting those non-refundable minutes following in the footprints. Listen to me, guys. We all follow in someone's footprints. We're either following the status quo or we're following the elite. And we get to decide, who do I really want to be? Who do I want to become? What do I want said about me when I'm dead and gone? And it all begins today.
For
It
sure.
all begins today. I mean, there's a million people, and I used to be one of them that would complain about, oh my God, I can't lose weight. Oh my God, I don't look good. Oh my God, I'm chunky. Oh my God, I got, chichos all over the place. Till I was low that, you know what? It's you, Lucy, it's you. It ain't nobody else. It's you. It's the decisions you're making. It's what you're doing or not doing. So this is a huge struggle for everyone. And I love that you said you need a mental wake up. We all need a mental wake up every day, to help us decide, what version am I going to be today? Am I going to be the lame version that does what everybody else does, that's in the same financial bracket that I'm in? Or am I going to be part of the, gladiators that are just relentless? I mean, I follow some people and I don't just follow them, I emulate them. I copy them. I copy what they do. And I love listening to them because it inspires me, it motivates me, and it reminds me, you right now are wasting time. You right now could be better at this. You right now need to focus more on this. You want right now. And it's a constant battle because in closing, here's what I want to say. We have conversations with ourselves millions of times a day. And if we're just telling ourselves that it's okay to continue doing what we're doing that's not leading us to where we want to go, it's because we haven't fed our mind. We're not feeding our mind. So we're having low level conversations with self, low level conversations with self. And
That's
so
so
you
good.
only, huh?
That I said that's so good.
Low level conversations with self. We have conversations with self all the time. I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm afraid to do that. I don't really have to do it now. I could do it tomorrow. Let me wait. I'm not ready. I'm getting ready. I'm going to be ready, but I'm scared, but I'm shy, but I'm cold, but I'm weak, but I'm lost, but I'm confused. Low level conversations with self. And the only way to change those low level conversations is to feed your brain high performance nutrition. You know, a lot of us have our minds out of gas. If our mind is out of gas because you're not having a powerful morning ritual, because you're not doing affirmations, because you're not saying, I'm a winner, I'm respected. I close deals all day. I close deals every day. Buyers and sellers are seeking me out. I am a winner. I am a gladiator of change. I am a high performer. I am an elite. I am fearless. I am resilient. I am powerful. I am unstoppable. I am able. I am able. I am able. I can do this. This is easy for me. If that's not what we're saying, then it ain't gonna work. And I see people with huge potential. What's the funniest part? And I know we got to close, but it just gets better and better. The funniest part is when people say, I am coachable. And the moment you start to coach them, they look for the first out. And before, I used to take it personal and I would like get upset Why did they remove themselves? Why did they find the first open door and run? And now I'm like, poor thing. They want it, but they don't want it bad enough. So they're going to wait 5 more years to end up in the same place that they're at. And then remember that 5 years ago, I said I was coachable, but I wasn't willing. And listen, no shame in the game and no judgment, because we all go through that. But my message is just clear. It's like, why wait 5 more years when you can just start now?
That's right.
So anyway,
Awesome. Well, what I got, have high level conversations with yourself. Feed your brain and ask yourself on a daily basis, will my future self will be proud of me from the actions that I'm taking today? And if not, change them. You are control. You are the captain of your own ship. Your own ship. And
yeah.
and yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching Agents in the Trenches, the real life struggles of real estate agents in this new market. And I hope you guys start having some miracle mornings. We'll see you tomorrow.